All right, man. We're live, and we are live on both our two YouTube channels, Transparency and Merit and Inflammatory Talk. We are also live on our X channels, Walk Against the Woke, Mr. Midnight Movie, and also our other Twitter, our X channel of the same name, Walk Against the Woke. Joey, I'm going to start us off with a damn song. This is called Dracula versus Godzilla. And you know what? Let me tell you something. I think this is a movie that we'd want to see. Yeah, Dracula versus Godzilla. Here we go, Joey.
I want to see this. Go. Welcome to the show. Yeah, you got to play the audio through your computer, dude.
Do you want me to give you the song and you play it, Joey?
You could do it that way if you want. Sure.
All right, hold on a second here.
Welcome, everybody. Make sure that if you're new here to subscribe.
Joey, I'm gonna send you the song on Discord.
Yeah.
If you can play it through there, I don't know if you're better. If it's gonna sound better.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm gonna play this song. Play it.
This is Dracula, Joey. This is Dracula versus Godzilla.
Okay, I've got it here. Make sure you got your earplugs on, everybody. Here we go.
I'm so sharp, ready for the fight. Godzilla roars, echo through the land. The bad command, make the monsters
louder.
Dracula versus Godzilla will rise in the shadows, in the skies, from the face in the dark. It's our game.
Joey, are we done playing that thing? Are we done playing the song? We got about 37 listens on here, and God, your audio is bad. I think you got the audio that Trump was supposed to get because they were supposed to shut up.
Brian, what did you hear? What did you hear?
I was hearing it go off and on, to be honest with you, and that's okay.
No, yeah, you're going to hear that, but the people out there, they're going to hear the whole thing. So
okay, I'm sorry. Were they digging it? Were you digging it?
I think so because more people came in. They're here. They're listening to us. We got a handful of idiots out there who need information. They need knowledge. They're starving, Brian. Their brains are empty. They're like cans of whipped cream, just oozing out. There's no substance anymore. So thank you for tuning in. Maybe we could provide you with a little bit of substance for that space in between your ears. Okay.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I do think that most people are probably going to say that they all won the debate, regardless of how I feel or how I don't feel about the situation.
Who won this debate?
I think most people are going to, and it's not just me. I think most people, if they are polled, are going to say that Kamala won the debate.
I think she had some absolutely perfectly timed retorts to where Trump was going, where he had gone in the past, what worked with him against Clinton, didn't fly with her, and she definitely was ready for that. I did see some interesting, back and forth. Although I feel nothing they say has anything of substance and has. I did kind of relate to some of the things Kaka Kamala said, that he wasn't really looking to help you per se. It's very true. So it's a
Uh,
very interesting debate.
well, one of the things I will tell people is this: anytime you are in a confrontation,
Mhm.
whether it is physical
Yes.
or it is verbal, anger doesn't always win the confrontation. And with somebody skilled, anger doesn't, anger and passion are good sources to keep yourself motivated, but they are not the things that are going to get you to that winning line.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're up against it regardless.
I'd like to know what some of the people that are listening to us, how they feel about that. I think it's a valid point. I think there's room in there too for some maybe some negotiation on how others feel about that. So yeah, definitely want to hear more voices.
And the sad thing for me is, Joey, the
Mhm.
left is extremely emotional and will
Yes,
sit down, debate, and we'll talk over.
yes,
And then when
and
you
that
get,
happens in real life too, not just politics.
yeah, 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 and that happens. Like most leftists are not objective, and and they don't listen. But with our candidates, it's the kind of the exact opposite. It's Trump is the candidate that talks over and doesn't fall through. And of course, he has a lot against him. I mean, he does have the establishment against him. The establishment is left, and to a degree, it is rather covert left. But if you're just the manner in which if he'd have just held back and waited and just was not excited and didn't allow people to needle him, I think he would have done much better. But he chose a different path, and I don't know if he chose it looked like Kamala took her debate prep more seriously.
I think maybe he was kind of pulling a little bit of a, saving his best for last sort of thing. And it's just all such a awful kind of smoke and mirrors. None of it really kind of hits home. The points don't really hit home in debates like this. And it was interesting, that to note that there was no audience. It was just them kind of barking at each other in front of a moderator.
Yeah.
So the energy is definitely different than if it were a actual debate, live debate in front of a crowd, where you actually feel the tides of momentum, changing as the conversation flows. So I don't know what's better. I don't know.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll tell you something, Joey. I'm one that believes again that anytime you go into a conflict,
Mhm.
you owe it to yourself, and particularly if other people are counting on you, you owe it to yourself. Well, I'm hearing. I was hearing a
Well,
loud
yeah,
motorcycle.
you just went into the conflict, dude.
Yeah, I just went into the conflict, and something unexpected did
If you're
happen.
looking for war, you'll find it. I'm looking to end the war. I say it in my letters and just in my general philosophy in how to deal with out there in the public. I've learned some really good strategies that help me defend my position, my standing at all times.
Well, I try to end conflict as best I can, and again,
Yeah, that's not our job either, but
well,
you're a bit of a peacemaker.
there's always the potential as a living creature, as a living human being, but as a living creature, to have conflict. Like if you're an animal, if you're an insect, and the main thing that you want to do is survive, and you want to keep your you want to survive, and you want to have your species and your bloodline survive to the
I'd like
best
to think,
of its
I
ability.
like to think that we've moved to a higher level of consciousness, and that we've seen what war does. We've overcome a few major wars, and I think we've learned quite a bit from our just the data, the data we have in our lifetime. So I don't know. It seems like the old style of war has lost its flavor a bit. There's certainly people who think that that's the only way to get an economy kickstarted and to really start rolling again, is get another war going. And it doesn't seem like the players they need to participate want to participate. I don't know if that's an exaggeration. That's just kind of how I feel.
I come to the conclusion that I have no control over this, and I'm just a man, and I'm just trying to survive to the best of my ability. And I want to live. I want to live the best human truth
Well,
in reality.
we definitely disagree there. We have a little dividing point there, because I feel it does matter, and everybody's voice does have a potential impact. They just got to use some. They got to have some knowledge. They've got to want to acquire knowledge. They've got to want to be able to really carry that torch forward. But until that happens, it's people just sucking in what we're given, and listening to the television, and getting caught up in debates that are just useless, and not really conducive to a higher level of consciousness at all. If anything, it's retarding consciousness, listening to these people. What a joke.
Let me ask you this: What makes? I mean, to me, what makes a living man? What makes a man of survival? Or I mean, you don't believe that survival is part of life, and one of the reasons we vote.
I was a grief therapist for 12 years, and the most tremendous amount of impact I had as a therapist was in grief counseling. Absolutely, there's benefit to it. Absolutely, people do. They move on from things.
Yeah, I mean, part of me though is like certain types of loss.
Mhm.
I mean, you move on, but that that there's you that is forever gone, and you never have a chance. You don't have a chance. Second chances aren't when you. For me, when I lost my parents, I realized that second chances are really a myth. You don't have a second chance when they're dead.
Sometimes, and many times, in complicated grief, especially like losing one parent after the other within a pretty short period of time. Depends on the person, but complicated grief. One thing I learned is that there isn't closure. Closure is a myth, and so I found that to be a real strong learning lesson for me. And while I have a lot of disappointment and lack of I don't really subscribe to a lot of the philosophies anymore, and kind of had a change of change of perspective on that world of therapy. I did see where the help came, where there was help, and how that help could be applied. So, anyways, I'm rambling on. Here we go.
You know, for me, I wanted to say the
Oops.
loss of my parents realized that there is, like, while they're alive, there is no resolution. And if I can say anything about people who have parents and they're having difficult times with them, at times there is no resolution in, you know, like that you're going to get through some deep stuff. You should enjoy them while they're here. Enjoy them while they're here. So, you know, like, and again, if you don't enjoy them, don't be around them, but enjoy them while they're here, because you're not, you know, people are not around forever. And sooner or later, they are gone. And the thing is, for me right now in America, the country, you know, I wasn't born, I was born overseas, but I was born on an American base. I see such change in the country, and it's a vindictive, nasty, egocentric change that I've observed. And
Absolutely.
it's
Yeah.
it's really hard for me to want this side to be victorious and win, because I don't think I don't think these people are good winners. They're not noble people. And even if the person who's my champion is not noble either, I would prefer him to the other vindictive, nasty, almost cluster B-like side. It's like these, you know, when they win, they kick you when they're down kind of people. That's what I saw with regards to the 2020 George Floyd riots.
What do you people out there want to discuss? Give us messages. Let us know what you're thinking. Sorry, go ahead.
I mean, that's just, and that's just what I gather. I mean, what I'm seeing. Did you take that down, Joey? Were you fooling with us?
I am so sorry. I actually did. Yeah, I'm okay.
That's okay. I mean, if you want to, you want to.
No, it was a mistake. I accidentally clicked the button.
Touching the buttons, Joey. Touching the buttons.
Yeah, touch the buttons.
But here's you know, I'm saying that we are in a large, not in a culture war, not just in America, but throughout the civilized world. This is the age of information, and we are seeing where people in the UK and in Brazil, they want to control this information, and they want to control the dialogue and the manner in which it's going about. And that is the most important thing to me. And I'm surprised, you know, like I said,
yeah.
Trump never mentioned, you know, what's going on in the UK. We can't mention you know, if a group of people commit crimes or they want the sovereignty of their nation or their people, and Brazil can't mention anything about their elections or anything like that.
I'm making a poll. Okay. Here's a poll. How many of you out there are getting a flu shot this year? I need to know. Just let me know.
Yes. Well, I mean, I don't know if we can even talk about that discuss. But again, our medical, you know, this is supposed to be like where we can talk about it and exchange through people throughout the land, throughout the world, that we don't even have to travel. And we can listen to information throughout the land and throughout the world. And we have these nonprofits that are coming about and telling us what we can and can't talk about as a free and open society.
Yeah.
And for me, that is the most important thing. We are not a free world or a free society unless that society has a First Amendment and can ask questions and explain it and be able to have a free-flowing dialogue. So many of these people who are into the social justice, they're so fake. They're so fake.
So
they're
fake.
So dishonest.
Oh.
And what I saw in the 2020 the BLM protest, it was so fake. It was so performative and so histrionic. And I'm like, how can this group be winners. These individuals are so fraudulent. And again, the histrionics of behavior. It's like we're all trying to get through life for food and for shelter and law and order, and these people made things more difficult. Again, you go to the stores now, Joey. We went to a store. We saw someone rob stuff right out of the store,
Yeah, it's not the only time I've seen it too.
and
But
it's
I,
like,
but this guy just in this case just grabbed stuff. The lady at the counter saw him. There was no mistaking. They actually made eye contact, and she's like, "Don't come back."
yeah.
And they walk out.
One of the things I had I'm thinking about getting is make America objective again. Walk against the woke, march against the midwits, make America objective again. We can decipher for ourselves as human beings what is true and what is good or bad information. And that's been taken away from us. And it's been primarily taken away from us by the left. And this issue is not getting really that talked about. The people, the Congress doesn't really talk about it and doesn't necessarily articulate it in much of a way.
How much baloney do you want to accept in one lifetime?
Hey, what can I tell you? Some people are not going to fight the battles the way you
Right.
want them to fight. And again, I might not fight the battles the way others want me to fight.
I'm trying to. I mean, I'm not even really fighting as much as I am trying to deprogram. If anything, I feel like I'm a deprogrammer. There's no other. I'm no longer a researcher. I feel like I found what I needed to find. I never wanted to spend my life dealing with the details because that's where the devil resides. So I've, found information that is useful. I continue to learn about it, but yeah, I feel now my greatest strength is in deprogramming.
Yeah, and well, there are a lot of people probably programmed. I might be one of these people that are programmed. But again, for me,
you have a great creative mind, and yeah, while you take it in, you also have an opinion.
I think I was programmed for most of my life to be, this false persona, this tough guy or whatever. Now
Yeah,
I'm just a man. I'm just trying to survive to the best of my ability. And again, there are a lot of people out there that are going to Fresh and Fit, want to be alpha male, want to be sigma male or whatever. And at the end of the day, I'm just a man. I'm a heterosexual male. I desire female. I want female companionship, but I don't need it. I can do without it. I can go along my own business and go along my own way. I don't need, I want a person's love. Well, and I don't need it. And I mean, I'm in a comfortable place at this moment in my life, and I get to go out here on the internet, pretty much a nobody, and I got 64 listens right now.
Sure.
Maybe what I say resonates, maybe what I say doesn't. But I'm very lucky and grateful that I am able to do that. And basically, at this point in time, I just again, I'll repeat this again. Anger does not win the conflict. And one of the ways, in my opinion, to control your anger is you have to recognize, number one, your fear. You have to, because anger stems from fear. And you have to acknowledge, like, what if this person does win this conflict? What is he going to do to me? And just go over all of it so you're aware of it. So you're fully aware of the fear and the bad things that are possible to happen to you.
Important because fear, I think, stops a lot of good deeds in their track.
Yeah.
sense. It stops a lot of good things from happening, and for what? It's because it's a power grab at that point. Once you give up your standing, you no longer have that power. And somebody else will take it. So there is that.
And the thing is, there is reason to be afraid. Fear is useful when you understand it. I mean, but you don't want it to consume you. Joey, do you have anything to add before I end the show?
We should do a show about fear. There's absolutely some amazing things that the body. One of my favorite sayings now, Brian, is that the mind can be programmed, but the heart cannot. So I think we should do a show where we dive in a little to fear tactics, fear, what it can do, why it stops good people from doing good things. And I think maybe we can make some progress along those lines. Hopefully we could do that
Absolutely.
soon.
Absolutely. And fear is an enemy. And to control your anger, you have to control your fear. I'm going to play this last song. It's called Let's Take a Break. And hey, guys, like, subscribe.
Yes.
Comment down below if you gain anything from this. If you don't gain anything, say that too. You didn't gain anything.
Words fly like bullets, storming the air, cutting through the silence. No one seems to care. The shouting matches all night, don't know who's to blame. Lost in endless battles, here we play the game. Let's take a break from angry talk. Walk a mile as others walk. Find some space to breathe.
Like, subscribe, leave a comment down below.
Please subscribe.